Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to use an AI generated background to create a cyberpunk scene inside the Daz Studio. You can download the Daz Studio for free. However, some content is free, but some you need to pay. So right here we have our environment, and I'm going to preload model. For this one, I'm using just a Lil Patch Girl HD. Let's go to our figuring. Preload it. I just kind of want to see the reflection, and that's what allowed me to do this. Let's go with poses. We'll just take a simple hero pose for this, and we'll go inside materials, and I want to apply a metal, so we'll just go silver metal because I think it's more work with a cyberpunk. If it was steampunk, I may go with a copper look. Okay, right here we have our preset, and what I'm going to use this cyberpunk streets that I'm very fast to render, which is actually huge benefit if you using AI generated art, because just you go inside, you have it already know some prompts, you put it in, and you can render very fast background without try to search or find them. So two of them I'm seeing right here. This one is kind of nice, and usually I see the horizon line, so if I can put it up front, and I also have it another ones like this, so two of them can work. This one is very close to us down, so if person should maybe stay like on the middle. We can try both of them. One thing, just keep it in mind when we render this is a 2004 432 pixels, and we need upscale this because otherwise it will be very non-sharp looking kind of. For the upscale, I like to use like gigapixel. I will put a link down below, and it's provide incredible job. For example, let's go like closer, and you can see like right here, see how blurred it is, and if we go over, very sharp. So it's not just upscale, it's a sharpening and add a lot of details. It does not look very blurry when you increase size. So I just think that will work very well in this case. And when you select, we'll go 6 by time, so it's quite a bit at 14,000 pixels. I think that will provide a good, nice, sharp image for us. Okay, so we inside applications. Let's go ahead, and now we want to switch to environment tab. We'll go to switch, go to the background, and again in the background, click on this arrow and click on the browse. So we're opening, and I'm going with upscale. See you these ones. Let's go put it in. And as we're preloading, the most important at this time is properly positioning and horizon line. So you see right here we have a Daz horizon line going. We also have our scenery horizon line. So I want to match the scenery and our Daz. When we match those horizon lines, it will become much easier afterwards. So next we can go back to our scenery. Okay, right here. And let's go select the patch, and I want to actually move a little bit out. So we'll just kind of like away. You know what? Let's go switch from default to perspective. We can zoom out. It will be a little bit easy to see this way. And we'll just kind of move a little bit more far away. Default camera. I'm just looking on the ground. I think around here maybe. And we want to increase a little bit in size. I think that one will work good. And let's just be sure our ground is matching. There you go. Okay, so at this time we kind of set up, we have it our ground. If we don't have ground, we can always go and create plane and set this way, but I think that will work very well. Now we can go inside the render settings, and let's modify a couple things here. Notice we don't have it our environment, because to enable environment, let's switch to NVIDIA Array, and when we switch, it's add our environment options, so we can modify them. One thing, let's go look as soon when it's finished rendering. You'll notice our model we'll have a little bit white color on the silver, and because our environment map a little bit different. So what we want to do is switch this little bit environmental map to right color. So let's go click on a color here, and we're going to match probably about this greenish, kind of cyan greenish around this color. Let's go ahead, click OK. And here you can see we have our model matching with a color. The couple things, it's blending a little bit too much, but maybe I want to stand here out, and we can use this by adding additional light. For example, you see neon light, but red light. Let's go add some neon lighting to this, so have it some rim lights at our model at this time. So I'm going to switch back to small texture shaded. This should work just fine. From default camera perspective, okay, let's go see where's our model at this time. Well, on the top. Okay, so here's our model. Around here, I want to go create a cylinder. Let's go create cylinder. Let's go look on top, and I want to take this cylinder, move on the side of her. Okay, around that area. This will be like my lighting. Just imagine what if it was like lighting. Let's go increase bigger. Neon sign or something. It's all what this is. It won't be necessary in our scenery. And we actually can verify by go ahead and click on the default camera. You see it's out of our scenery, but it is will produce lights. It's what I wanted. I can bring even closer in this case. Next, what I want to do, it is going on my cylinder, go to the surfaces. Okay, oops, let's close it. Let's go surfaces. Let's go select cylinder. And if we're going down below to emission colors, let's select emission colors, and we want this red kind of orangey color. Maybe let's look on this color. About this color, it's what we want. I think this will work. Okay, let's go ahead, click OK. It does not produce enough emission for us because we need to increase luminosity. And we'll go inside luminosity, and let's go to about 3 million. I think luminosity should work in this case. And we'll go switch down to NVIDIA Array to preview. You always can go ahead and change luminosity if you need it to increase, decrease. It's kind of experimental because it's all based on positioning of the object, reflectivity of the object, and some additional parameters. Also, as a calculating light, one thing I need to point to you, notice right here it's a 2:3. So this is important aspect ratio. That when image was created by 2:3 ratio, same as a backdrop to match. If we have a different aspect ratio, that will mess up with some perspective how it's look. Okay, so right here our lights, and you can see we add this nice beautiful red light, rim light to our model, so it's kind of fit a little bit better together in this case. We do have our environmental light coming from the top left, which is okay. It creates some shadows, but I think highlights it's work very well together. You can try to play a little bit more around, maybe put it additional lighting in a place you interested, but overall you can see how fast and easy it was for us to set up this with a digital render background. We just put model, add some lighting. You can add different lights as well if you need it, and until we have a very beautiful render ready to complete. Okay, now what I need to do is just verify a couple things that we're okay right here. Mostly I want to be sure my environment set properly. I did not even touch intensity. We can decrease if you think, but I think it's matched very well at this point. Ground texture scale, all default. We don't worry about this. Projection, reflectivity. We could pop up just a little bit of reflectivity on the ground, but I think with image it's fine. You can experiment with this as well. For example, you can pop up just a little bit up on the reflectivity. The only reason we want to reflectivity on the ground to simulate some of the rainy, this kind of ground. That's what was in there. But remember, it will take a little bit time to calculate. And here as a result, you can see we have some reflection. Maybe it was a little bit too much of the reflectivity and ground. So we'll go to take ground glossiness, and let's decrease this to about 500. Okay, it's look a little bit better. However, it is, I think the coloring a little bit off. So let me go ahead and make it darker, maybe even in our tint colors, around that color, I think. Okay, I think it's look better. We have some reflectivity, except I still kind of on a side about this. We can still kind of modify it, play a little bit more. Maybe instead this, just let's go to 100, even way lower. Okay, it's much better because we can see right here is her feet touching. It's have the reflectivity, so kind of more feet inside the scenery, I think, with these options. And we have it very beautiful as we're going here, because it's a blur and it's matching quite a bit well with the blurring on her. So now she kind of fit more in this environment. Remember, all what we did, we just brought figures and we put it this backdrop behind her. It's all what we done, and just some adjustment. You see how fast it was done, and easy. And we can change those backgrounds on the fly. So all what we need to do is go inside the environment tab, and environment tab we can change those backdrops. By the way, also on the backdrop, if you need it, you can go ahead and click on the coloring and change coloring as well, matching backdrops, or add different thinning. For example, if we want just a little bit warmer, we can switch the color to slightly warmer color. You don't want decrease to dark, because this is also the brightness. So if we're going too much in the dark gray, it will be quite a bit darker. And by the way, those beeps, it's what I'm continue doing on a mid journey, which is where I created background. Just show you some examples. Like right here, you can see all these different cyberpunk backgrounds. It's what I'm creating. As have it fun. And if you're interested in this, I have it videos. I'll post it link up above, how you can work with the text strings, how you can go with Mid-Journey. And actually, I'll go first start with the absolute beginner guide to the Mid-Journey for those who does not know and want to create this backdrop inside Mid-Journey. So I'll go put it that link. And another link will be also how to work with the text string, with this text prompt, so you will achieve result that you're going after. So I hope you find this is fun videos. And in the end, let's go ahead and click render. So we'll go ahead and render this image and see our final result. Okay, so right here we have our render coming. You can see, so I want very sharp background so it can kind of match together. The one thing what I want to apply after, and after look on this, I think I need to show you. Okay, right here fit. I think fit is kind of actually matching very good on the ground, this staining. I'll just show you one more interesting things you can apply in a post-processing in a Photoshop, and it will be very fast add-on, but it will kind of take and tie everything together to one piece. But you don't necessarily need to do, even right here as we render with the background, it's actually come up very good, and I think it's matching very nicely. Okay, so render is completed. This was quite a bit fast render, again, because we are using backgrounds. We don't need to worry so much about this slide. So let's go ahead and save this, and I'm going to open inside the Photoshop. Okay, so inside the Photoshop, the things what is pop up, the character look bluish versus green, so it is a little bit color off. We need to fix this. We can done this inside the Daz, just a little bit, set environmental lightly a bit more to the greenish and then bluish, but it's okay. We can fix this in the post as well. The one thing, so I want to create new layer, and let's call it dust. All what we need for this is just take our brush, select, okay, where's my brush? There you go, my brush tool, right click, and we're going to, okay, let's go, my favorite, the wrong smoke powder. We can go to little bit fog, okay, and we'll just select the simple fog right here. Okay, for the fog we want to go on Alt and just select the color we have it. You can see it's applied the similar color over, so we'll just add few areas. That's all, not much, just little bit. Okay, next we'll create new layer, and let's go call it grain, and the grain will help us to blend them together. So what I was meaning by this, if you look, model have it one grain, but we're still using image that using different grain. We'll go to edit, fill, and we'll fill this with 50% gray, normal mode, 100% opacity, so you should have it absolutely gray screen like this. Next we'll go to filter, noise, add noise, and we'll add about 8% noise, guys, monochromatic, that should work. Excellent, and switch this to the soft light. Let's go come closer, and you can see now we have this noise. Look, before and after. See how it's help blending? And it's just tricking for our eyes, but it does work very well. Bring all of them together. Now about coloring, we can press Ctrl Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E to create new layer. And I will present you a couple options how we can do with coloring. One color, we can go to Filter, Filter Forge. Okay, where's my Filter Forge? Well, apparently my Filter Forge is not here because it's well updated to new Photoshop, and new Photoshop not yet transfer those plugins, so I need to reinstall it, which is fine. Actually, we'll leave it this color here, and I'll show you different ways. So one way we can go with creating selective colors. In selective colors, we go to the blacks. In a black, we'll just take dark black. I don't like crush black, so I'll put it maybe about like -3. And notice right here we have it yellow or blue, and we'll go just slightly teeny tiny bit in a blue, little bit in magenta to the green, and we have it cyan colors. Notice we have it red or cyan. I want a little bit in a cyan. So now on the neutrals we go opposite. We'll go a little bit more to the yellow, again a little bit green, and a little bit to the red. So you notice how we're changing. You can play around and create a little bit more neon lights if you need it, but this way we just add overlay color, and it will help us blend them together. Another ways you can do this, actually let me go with the whites as well. This is our whites, and we'll just pop up them up and make them warm as well in the whites. Another things we can do with the curves, so we can create new adjustment layer curves. Switch this to the color blending mode. We don't apply anything to the contrast. We want to just work with the color channels, and we'll go with the blue channel. Again, we'll take blue, pop up bottom, shadows to the blue, middle, take a little bit to the warmer, so it's kind of almost scenic curve, it's what call. And this one will have it cyan. You can see red or cyan. Oh, actually I like red coming very nice. Yeah, let's go do it. We'll pop up red here, restore a little bit on the middle, add a point. I do like how it's come up this way. Yeah, just like this. There you go. And you can see overall, by overlaying those colors, they help take everything and blend for us them very, very nicely together. So we'll have a nice, beautiful blend with using grain, using selective colors, curves on the colors and all that stuff. You don't necessarily need it to do all of this. So this is a retouching. It just, I think it's add a little bit more to our look. So right here, like a haze, a little bit to the feet. Okay, so right here we create our image, and I think that's all what I want to show you right now. Hopefully you find this video interesting, help you with some creating new elements, easiest and faster way to do with like Daz 3D and with also AI render background. You can see the power and how easy and nice to do. I'll put it links additional for you to check. It is, if you're not familiar with Midjourney, it's how you can install and work with Midjourney or any other three AI render generators, AI art generators, as well how to work with the text prompt to achieve what you needed. And let me know what you created. And please, if you like this video, subscribe, give it thumbs up, share with other people so more people come look on this video, and it will encourage me to create more interesting videos for you as well. And have a great time to create.